yes, I got to visit Maiduguri in Borno. Now, when I left for Borno, I didn't really know what to expect, but I ended up having a great time, and I saw a lot of nice places in Maiduguri. The roads were good and clean. You know, it felt like any other city in Nigeria, but of course, I didn't just see the nice places. I got to see some not so nice places as well, besides the IDP camps that we visited. My only regret is that I didn't have time to visit other parts of Borno besides Maiduguri. So it's our first time of working with the IDPs, and I'd like to thank the governor of Borno, Governor Shetima, for helping us with everything that we needed to make this a success, for providing escort. We had security escort everywhere we went, and they made sure that the whole thing was transparent. We got to distribute the food to the IDPs ourselves. We got to see the IDPs. So I'd like to thank the government of Borno State for making this a huge success. So the second day that we got there, a wonderful family that I think they have now adopted me. They actually gave me a native Borno outfit. It's known as Kajuge Kanuri, and I wore the outfit. It was really nice. So that second day we went to Bakassi camp. It's huge. So many people in Borno, like regular people, have taken in the IDPs into their homes. There are families that have taken in like 30-something IDP members into their homes. Just imagine. Unfortunately, there are about 2 million people that are displaced, so it's kind of hard for them to take in everybody. That's why we still have so many people at the IDP camps. So, you know, it's heartbreaking for me that the food that we took there was like a drop in the bucket, really. And I should also let you know that because we couldn't raise money on time the first time, we were not able to get Vita Meal. We got Mana Pack. I was told that this is still under the Vita Meal family, but it's a Mana Pack. So you will see that the food looks different from what I had showed you in the video. It's very similar to the Vita Meal that we didn't get the first time. So there were 36 packs of food in each box, and we had about 1,240 something boxes, which means we had almost 45,000 packs of food. And we wanted to give out a box to each household so that each household can eat it for a long time. But you know, thanks to the chairman of the Borno Emergency Management Agency, he told us not to give to the male leaders of the household, so because apparently there are some men that have 2 or 3 wives, and if you give it to the men, they will just give it to the wife that they like the most and also the children that they love the most. So we ended up giving it to the women leaders of the house, because a woman will take care of her children and also her husband. So we gave to some men as well, so not just women, but these are men from other households. And keep in mind that there are some men that their wives were killed and now they have children to take care of. And also we did not forget the orphans. For the orphans, we gave them like 2 packets each. Instead of giving them like boxes, we gave them like packets, because they have people that are taking care of them as well. And I just love those orphans. I had a great time with them because it really touched my heart. Now the following day we went to another camp known as Dalori Camp 2.
So today we're going to Dalori Camp 2 to do more distribution.
Those children there were so cute. I was hugging them. I was having a good time with them. We got there before the food, and we were waiting for the food. So many of these kids are orphans, by the way, and you guys will not believe that many of them still don't know what has happened to them.
That's happening to them. They don't know what happened to them, right? Yeah. Are they Most of them are orphans.
Unfortunately, it was time for me to leave because my flight had been scheduled.
I told them that what you brought to them, these people will give it to them later.
Okay.
So they are telling you bye-bye. Stop joining.
Bye-bye.
So the leader of Rehoboth Foundation, Pastor Felix, was the one that handled the distribution that day because his flight was later in the afternoon. The food was coming in as I was leaving the camp. So I think that the most important thing for me is hearing the stories of the IDPs, both men and women. Honestly, people have been through a lot. I got to understand that so many of these people were doing really well for themselves before the insurgency started. And as a matter of fact, there were millionaires among them before they had to flee their homes when Boko Haram came killing people, and then they lost everything. And also there were so many of them that are skilled. Like this woman, for example, she was telling me that she knows how to sew and that she doesn't want to beg for food or beg for money, that she wants to be able to take care of herself, but she doesn't have a sewing machine. You know, all she needs is a sewing machine. She lost 2 children during the insurgency. And also I talked to another lady that knows how to make macaroni pasta. All she needs right now is the machine to do it. She wants to be making it, packaging it, and selling it. There are so many people like that. that all they need is to be empowered. And they're also teaching them other skills at the camp as well, which is why I think that the most effective thing would be to empower these people, not just give them food. You know, food is good, it's necessary, but it's a short-term solution. And I met a lot of young people that all they want is to go back to school. Many of them were going to school before the insurgency happened, and then the schools that they have now at the camp has really low standard. Many of the schools that I saw at the camp that we went to, they were built with dried leaves. Those of them that have roofs, they still don't have walls. I didn't see blackboard, I didn't see chairs. So the students want to go to real schools outside the camp. I wrote a story on my blog, by the way, about this lady called Aisha Ibrahim. She's an orphan, and she wanted to go back to where she was going to school before her parents were killed by Boko Haram. She was a student at Yawa Government Girls Secondary School. It's a boarding school. It's a school with walls, with windows, with library. It's painted. As a matter of fact, Malala, the lady from Pakistan that was once shot by the Taliban because she was going to school, she has been to this school before in Maiduguri, so she has visited the school. It's a really nice school. That is where Aisha wants to go to school.
Okay, even this one we are staying.
Yes, this one is premises. Oh, this is the school?
It's
Yes,
a
it's
classroom.
classroom.
This is a classroom.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, but she like her former one.
And so we took care of the expenses. The only problem right now is that her aunt has refused to let her go back to school out of fear, because her aunt is the only family member that she has left. If anyone in Borno knows who can talk to her aunt, by the way, to help us to get Aisha back to school, please let me know. And of course, I got to enter the homes of some of the IDPs.
You want to show me how many people sleep here?
Nah, 3 people.
3 people sleep here? 3 people sleep here?
Yes, it's small.
So
people.
6 people here?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Are you in school?
Yes, ma'am.
What class?
Yeah. SS2.
SS2? And you SS2?
SS1.
SS1, SS2?
Yes.
Nice to meet you. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a pilot.
You want to be a pilot? You'll be a pilot someday. You never know. Why are you laughing? What do you want to be?
Doctor.
A doctor? What's your name?
My name is
Haman. And you are?
Abubakar Umar.
Abubakar wants to be a pilot. Haman wants to be a doctor.
I'm really grateful, by the way, to the Borno State government and also the chairman of the Borno Emergency Management Agency for all the support and also making sure that this thing was transparent. They really tried for us. They allowed us to interact with the IDPs, to go in there ourselves, to share the food ourselves. And also I'd like to thank the permanent secretary for Borno Government House, Alhaji Sanda. And also I'd like to thank the wonderful escorts that we had, the drivers, and all the security guys that we had. I'm so grateful to every one of you in Borno State. I made new friends. I met a lot of wonderful people in Borno. I'd like to thank everybody. And a huge shout out to the family of Alhaji Sherif Taibu and his wonderful wife, Ajia Minat Adam. I got to visit their home, and together we cooked a traditional Borno food known as Doya Kayata. Also, I'd like to thank Rehoboth Foundation for securing the food, for doing all the clearance wahala. I mean, they were done clearing this thing before I even left the US to go to Borno. So they did all the clearance wahala, and I'd like to thank them, and also to thank the founder of Rehoboth Foundation, Pastor Felix, for agreeing to go with us to Borno. So huge kudos to him. Also, I'd like to thank all the board members of Kawa Foundation. You guys are amazing. I mean, I don't really know what I'm doing, but these people, they believe in this cause and they make it happen. Huge kudos to Dr. Sesson, who came to Borno as well. He left his work and he came to spend some days in Borno. And huge kudos to Dr. Baba Adams, who's actually from Borno State. He wanted to be there, but he couldn't make it, but he was the one that connected us with everybody that we got to meet in Borno. So thank you so much, Dr. Baba Adams. So huge shout out to Becky Hashbaga and Kefiwe Kogosise in Botswana. Thank you so much, guys, for all your support. And most importantly, I'd like to thank you guys that watched the show. Every single one of you that donated money at the beginning of last year. You guys are the ones that made this possible. You may never know the impact that your donation has had, but thank you so much. It has had a lot of impact. All right, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're yet to. Until next time, I'm gonna see you all later. Peace out.